Okay, I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do to make yourself immune to getting engaged in any type of toxic dynamic. I don't believe that there's a such thing as a toxic person, but only toxic dynamics, because you can only be harmed by toxicity if you are participating in the dynamic. So if you do these 3 things I'm about to share with you, you can make sure that you don't find yourself slipping into a toxic dynamic. So, the first thing is to have a really strong sense of self. And that means being willing to look at yourself with clear eyes, understand your true motivations, your true triggers, your traumas, your deepest, honest desires, not the desires that society says that you should have. And just really having a strong sense of who you are, what you want, what you see your life looking like. This will help you recognize when something just isn't in alignment. It doesn't even necessarily have to be toxic, and it won't get there because you realize it's just not in line with the experience that you're creating for yourself. The second thing, which is super underrated, is you must care about how you feel. There are those of us who call ourselves emotionally intelligent, and yet we still ignore the fact that we're unhappy, uncomfortable, something feels off. We just don't care about how we feel. We care more about others' experiences than our own. But it's important to be able to identify what you're experiencing, to check in with your body, to check in with your emotions, and to be deliberate about getting yourself back to equilibrium. So this is going to help you with those situations that are not as obvious. You can start to feel that something is off, and when you pay attention to that and you make the necessary adjustments to get back to feeling joyful, to get back to feeling at peace, you naturally move yourself away from what could potentially become a toxic dynamic. The third thing, and probably the hardest one for me to implement, is listening to your intuition. So we often look at intuition as like this spooky, mysterious thing, but I believe it's just our subconscious mind letting us know from all the information it's collected that something is not right for us. So our subconscious mind picks up all the sights, the smells, the sounds, the comments, the things that our conscious mind would just be overwhelmed with, and it keeps track of all that information. So when you feel that small voice telling you, hey, this is not quite right, or yes, I should go in this direction, that is listening to your intuition. And when you start to practice this, you realize that it will never lead you astray. So if you combine a strong sense of self with caring about how you feel and being deliberate about feeling good and listening to your intuition, it doesn't matter what manipulation techniques people use or what situations you're presented with, you will be able to avoid getting sucked into any type of dynamic that doesn't align with who it is you're trying to become.